Hey everybody, welcome back to another Destiny 2 Fashion Friday. It's me, Sven. Hope you guys have had a good holiday season. Happy New Year. Recording this on Friday actually for the first time, so I can actually say Happy New Year and be not lying to you. Hope you guys got to have some fun, even if it was just over Zoom or chilling by yourself watching the ball drop. Let me know what you guys did in the comments. Today I thought I'd do like a makeover for sweat players. So I think a lot of sweat players get into a habit of rocking the similar kind of fashion, really sleek, all black or as just black as they can make it without a super black shader. Mostly Lux set or Imperium set for the most part in team. So I just thought, I'd put something together that they probably would actually use. I kept a lot of the mostly black motifs. Did sprinkle in some red here and there, or maybe some silver if I had to. Maybe we'll see a little more variety in styles, in trials and all that because of this. So we're gonna go over the hunter first. I've got a couple example sets of what I think sweats lean towards. A lot, like I said before, a lot on the Lux set, a lot on Tyrion set. I think with sweats, you're really gonna see mostly stompies being used. I know in like face it or tournaments, a lot of times Wormhouse gets banned. I did put a few Wormhouse sets in here for just the purely the trials players. Give you guys some ideas as well. These examples are both stompies. Um, the second one is probably a little more colorful than a lot of sweats would even rock, but that kind of silhouette is very common, I think, or from what I've seen. So, so let's go over the alternate I made for the Stompies. You've got similar style in general. The Lux Vest is still here. I think that's one of the best silhouettes you can do as a hunter, so I wanted to keep that intact. Um, I switched out the arms for the Intrepid Discovery arms. That's a part of another universal ornament set in the shop. I also used the Iron Cask helmet. I think this helmet really turns all black really easily with a lot of different shaders because that mask doesn't shade and it's all black. And it has a nice, simple, sleek silhouette that just looks really great on a very simple, sleek hunter. I do think this Stompy's ornament, when it comes out for Bright Dust in a couple weeks, I might do a few sets with it. I think these current Stompies are not really my favorite, and I think that ornament is gonna make me have a lot more fun making sets with these. Right now, you're kind of relegated to this like futuristic ninja kind of vibe with how they're set up, and it's kind of hard to work into a lot of hunter sets. A lot of that style is more bulky and doesn't look as good with this really slim legs. So I just kind of worked around that, leaned more into this sleek look than the robotic look here, I think. Oh, also I did the Wild Hunt cloak to get just a simple cape on the set as well. And obviously, this will be easier to set up once Transmog comes out. I think this is kind of the main goal of this video because I don't think anyone's going to get like awesome rolls on the Iron Cask for a while. Let's look at these. Let's look at this Wormhouse set as well. Got a few different colorways just to kind of appeal to maybe different kinds of people. Got one red, one mostly gray, one green accent in, as black as possible with those going. In my mind, for the cloak, you may wonder why I use this cloak. I wanted to obscure the worm husk as much as possible. I also didn't want to use the ornament because it shines really bright near the jaw, and that made it even harder to cover up. And the red eye light is also kind of difficult to cover up with any cloak. And the idea of covering up this cloak in general is just kind of maybe trick your opponents into not knowing that you had a worm husk on until you obviously did it. It can be a little obvious if they're rocking a hoodless cloak and that big gold helmet is shining at them, or that big red eye on the ornament is shining at them as well. But yeah, here we got the Lux arms and the North Light chest, the Dawning chest. You can get that still until Tuesday reset, and the Lux legs. And that cloak is the Halloween Scarin Corvus ornament. You can get that next Festival of the Lost if you're liking this look. So yeah, before we move on to the Warlock, I guess I should explain a little more on my whole goal with these. I obviously wanted it to look good. I wanted to be mostly black to appeal to the sweats that I'm trying to make over. You know, I don't think they really want to go outlandishly bright. There may actually be some benefit of being mostly camouflaged, even though I don't really think so, or don't care enough to do it at least. I wanted the helmet to be as small of a profile and as dark as possible. So, you know, finding that head in a long range battle is even harder than it was. I think if you have like an all black body and like really bright white head, it's easy to focus in on that subconsciously, I guess, and aim better. That's, I mean, that's pretty like min maxy, but that's why the sweats are here, you know, why they want next level fashion for themselves. So it's trying to appeal to that sense. So, no surprise that I've got the generic sweat PvP look here, the Lux chest, the Trials helmet, the transversive steps. I think this ornament is pretty popular. The base transversives are very skinny and it's kind of lackluster in my opinion. I think a lot of people picked this up last season when it became available for Bright Dust, including me, obviously. I don't think this is a bad set. I think it looks really cool. It's just a little generic at this point. So in my mind, I wanted to kind of shrink that head size down. I think big helmet there makes it for an easier target. I do think the chest does a good job of obscuring where the helmet begins and where the chest ends. But I wanted to stray away from that helmet, but maybe even keep that chest feel. So I've got the Dido chest here. This is a great chest. Doing the Prophecy dungeon will get you this chest, and it can drop pretty high rolls normally, but once again, it's kind of be a transmog situation. I got a couple sets here, one with the transversal steps and one with the Karnsteins. I think Karnsteins are top tier. I've seen some really good players use them in trials. I think they are banned in like actual sweat playlists, but transversals I'm not. So you got your both options here. With the with the Karnsteins, it's super easy to incorporate them. You can pretty much turn whatever pair of pants you want all black with certain shaders, and then they are very simple and, you know, Warlock Gauntlets. They just low profile and easy to incorporate without upsetting a already set up build. So not too much to worry there. We can focus on the transversives in my opinion. So I've got the Lux helmet, the really small helmet. It can be tough to work in design. I think this slim, low armor Dido chest piece works well with it, actually. It's hard to get this Dido chest piece all black. The Dido decals never change from white, actually. You can't go pure black ever. So I just kept this nice teal in here. I'm pretty sure this is Basalt Toxic shader on that. Nice little detail with a mostly pretty dark black. I think Basalt Toxic is also on the legs there to get the upper thigh dark and the boots even dark as well. The bond obviously can be switched out if you want something non-holographic. But overall, just like the set, seems really clean, really simple, very dark for those wet lords, and I hope they enjoy it. So here's a set for the people with maybe a really good rolled helmet from trials that they've been grinding and want to keep it on. You can use the new or universal ornament this season chest piece to get a really cool, mostly black attire balance to that the big size of the trials helmet. It was pretty tough to shader this chest piece pretty dark. It's mostly fabric, which if you are not super into fashion, fabric shades usually off the colors that are like present on that like little pie slice icon. But this is Skelligol shader. I think it looks really good. It still leaves that blue stripes in the middle. That doesn't shade at all. But I think the bronze accents look really cool. that really matte black shader for the helmet is just Jackarina. Leaves a little tinge of blue on the neck, which I think matches pretty well with the chest piece blue. I also put in the Trials Gauntlets here. I'm pretty sure they have Skelegal on them as well. Yeah, it kind of gives like a rustic black bandage look. Looks pretty cool. I do think it's Warlock fashion. You know my stance on it. Gauntlets can be swapped out for pretty much anything. You like an ornament in this set a little more that shades well. Just throw it in. It's Warlock. I did use the Wild Hunt Bond here. I think it matches that Skelegal bronze pretty well, and I thought it looked really cool as an accent next to the ring around the neck and the almost bolo tie bronze there as well. So let's take a look at the generic sweat Titan that I've made. So if you didn't know, this oiled gunmetal shader really great on Titans. Does a lot of good on a lot of different pieces on Titan. I don't know why. It's just I've tried it on other characters. On Hunter, it turns out gray a lot. On Warlock, you get that oily sheen a lot. But on Titan, you get this nice gray, some oily sheen, but just doesn't reflect it doesn't get as reflecty as bad in my opinion. So it just turns into this nice, like really monotone, flat gray. I was actually playing against somebody in the Crucible, just regular 6v6, and they were just all oiled gunmetaled out, and like I was actually having trouble seeing them. So I mean, really, if you're a Titan main, try out the shader. Well, if you're averse to colors as well, I guess. But yeah, so this is my idea of like super generic sweat Titan. So let's see what I made them over into. So obviously, I think Dune Marchers is probably your main go-to for a lot of sweats. Dune Marchers can be a little hard to match together. I'm rocking Descendant Vex Chrome here. It leaves a lot of green in here, but obviously you can swap in the oiled gunmetal like I was saying. I just wanted to maybe get some ideas out there for these sweats that they could try out. As well, if they didn't mind like really faded green. We got this wild helm from like the EDZ, or you've gotten it from the legendary Ingram from the world drops as well. You get that Dead Orbit logo on the side. And I've got the Iron Wheel chest piece. Vex, the Descendant Vex Chrome really comes in handy here because there's usually a gold like necklace around it. That helps eliminate that little decal. And I've got the Lux arms as well. And I've got the Dido mark. I think is super great. If you're a sweat and are looking for a clean, simple mark, I think this is my go-to personally. You don't have to worry about getting a good roll on it either. You just have one in the vault. Just change it to your elemental affinity and put the mods you want. That's the beauty of hooks and marks and bonds, in my opinion. It's always the first thing I masterwork. We're also got a Titan's Rampart build here. So I wanted to match the Titan's kind of like heavy armored shoulders. And I put in the Vendor legs. I think this is the Vanguard version. You can kind of see the V, but this Amethyst Veil shader really covers it up well. I've got the Holdfast chest on and the Iron Will helmet. This combo, I think, really gets you very dark. Like, this is probably as black as you can get with any Titan shader. And it also leaves this nice shiny midsection, which remember what I was talking about right before the Warlock set, kind of catches your eye near the middle of the target. Maybe subconsciously makes you shoot closer to that point instead of the head. And finally, we got the one-eyed mask set I put together. You can see I had strong white accent in the middle. Same thing, get the eye drawn to the middle of the piece and get one-eyed mask really dark so they don't focus too hard on the head. We're just matching that with some very like casual Titan Lux arm and legs and the Intrepid chest piece. Give that kind of, biker, simple street Titan. I think it's really cool. Pretty popular with sweats in general, I think, as well, the slim Titan. Yeah, but just some quick advice if you're trying to make your own sets a little darker, a little blacker. I found with Hunter, I feel like the shader Carminica did a really good job of getting a lot of black. You did get some kind of bright reds, and on the cloaks it makes them this bright orange a lot. So yeah, let's use a different one for the cloak a lot of times. Also, Valkyrie Zero looks really good on a lot of hunter armor pieces. Turns a lot of stuff pitch black despite having a lot of red in it as well. For Warlock, I'd say check out Assault Toxic. Does a really good job of getting a lot of the clothy pieces that are found in the chest pieces a lot to like a very dark black. It shows a lot of green and blue in that icon, but it doesn't show up that often in my experience. For Titan, check out Oiled Gunmetal, like I mentioned, and Amethyst Veil. I have a lot of success for those just turning all these armor pieces completely black. I think that's mainly due to the more metal nature of the Titan sets. Yeah, so let me know what you think of these sets. I hope there's some sweats coming around, maybe even after Transmogs hits, and you guys can get some inspiration, get some uh, get some whatever currency it requires to get these pieces turned into ornaments going, and be looking good in your next game. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.